Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu. We were studying the sutta, Mahāparinibbānasutta. That is about the great discourse on the Buddha's extinguishment. Which means this is about Buddha's last days. Extinguishment means Buddha's enlightenment. He was entering to the final enlightenment, extinguishment. When Buddha passes away, he goes to an enlightenment. We say it Nibbana. This teaching is about those final days Buddha lived and how Buddha gave instructions to the monks and to his community. We were going through this teaching for now, how long?
3 weeks.
Yes, almost, 3 weeks. We spent 3 weeks on this. And we move little by little. And some of the teachings I skipped because it can take ages if we start to study deep topics, deep concepts. We studied the perception of impermanence and perception of non-self. And I won't go to the rest of the other things here. We'll go to next one. For further reading, you can go to the Girimananda Sutta. You'll find more instructions based on these perceptions on the Girimananda Sutta. I'll quickly go through one topic here. Seems like very important to our meditators. Pahana Sanya. Because we learned about the perceptions. Sanya. Let's see what is inside the giving now. Pahana Sanyang Bhavisanti. Buddha says these things to be practiced because this leads to spiritual growth. A person develops in his spiritual life if that person develops these perceptions, which means this is about a kind of meditations. A person meditates on impermanence. Again, a person meditates on non-self. When a person does these meditations, it develops their spiritual life. They won't decline, which means there is such a thing that decline in the spiritual life. Though that we start with all the enthusiasm, gradually we decline in the spiritual life. So we need to keep at least on the practice. And Buddha says, not I don't praise just being on the practice, but I praise being developed in the practice. But without declining, we need to be on the practices, on meditations, and on those studies. Okay? Because when we start, we have a lot of energy. Keep on doing the meditations. But more time we spend, more tired we become, more lazy we become. I mean, in a meditation, let's say, we do a 1 hour meditation. For the first 5 minutes, we are very energetic and we are very powerful. But gradually, we are being attacked by the hindrances and then our own mental minds wandering. And sometimes, there are so many such things that affect our spiritual decline. Not only in a meditation, but all the practices we can be declined. There are some practitioners who decline in their virtue, their moral qualities, and sometimes in their samadhi. Let's say a person develops concentration well, but if they are not guarding that concentration can easily disappear. And some people also, practitioners, decline in their knowledge, wisdom. Let's say we develop a kind of understanding about the teachings. Sometimes we decline from those knowledges because of listening to other unnecessary things which make doubts, can create a kind of decline in the knowledge, because this can be changed over time, our understanding about the life, as long as we are not fully understood the concept. Okay, so he says they can expect growth, not decline, if these practitioners were to develop all these practices. I see a kind of relationship with this topic, this concept that we are going to talk today, to our other meditations. Like during the meditations, a lot of friends share with us that their meditation is full of thoughts. When a person is starting the meditation, the mind is full of thoughts, but does not go to the breathing. Mind does not go to the loving kindness. With this perception, they can develop a kind of understanding to let go all the unnecessary thoughts, negative thoughts. Okay? Again, I'm going to the Girimananda to find out what Buddha meant here. Pahana sanyam bhavesanti. Okay, let's see. Do you see the second sutta?
Yes, okay.
Yes. Okay, this is where it starts. And what is the perception of giving up? Katama chananda pahana sanya. Don't be scared for these difficult words. Perception. I think you are not, you already know about what is sanya. Shall we remind what is sanya? Can somebody tell me what is perception means? Either from the Zoom or from the in-person audience?
You unmute.
Just the same way people have misconceptions about the impermanence, perception also has so many misconceptions and taking it incorrectly.
I think Bhante mentioned recognition last time.
Yes. recognition. That's the English translation. Perceiving, perception. Well, perception is the English translation for the word sanya, but we can say there is an equivalent recognition, identifying. Okay? But when Buddha explains this, he gives an simile to understand what is this concept really means. He says that you perceive. That is why it is said perception. And what do you perceive? You perceive red. You perceive yellow. You perceive blue. You perceive white. And then indigo, whatever the color you perceive. That's the function of the perception. That's this activity of our consciousness we have, that it has this power to recognize individually, separating from the other things. Do we mix, like when we perceive, do we mix these two colors, like let's say blue and red? No. We can see individually, this is red color, this is blue color. So that is done by this power in the consciousness, this activity in the consciousness called perception. So we do these meditations to develop those perceptions. For an instance, let's say that you develop perception of impermanence. Impermanence means arising, vanishing, and change. When you develop that perception, you perceive whatever the thoughts enter to your mind with that understanding, impermanence perception. Okay? That's inside the mind. We don't need to find when are we going to perceive these thoughts as impermanent, but it naturally comes to us when we meditate on the basic understanding of impermanence. Let's say, for an example, you think sights are impermanent. You think sights that I'm seeing are impermanent, impermanent, impermanent. Then the next day, if you do it well, if you grow your thoughts on the impermanence, it will shows you how things are changing. I mean, like the sights won't bring you any like immediate craving. Like we have such a thing in us, like when we see a sight, our mind easily go to the sights we see. But when we develop this perception, next day we see the sight, but our mind does not react to that immediately because it understands impermanence. That's when we know this meditation works. Until that, we need to meditate to see impermanence. We need to think over and over again impermanence. Don't worry, this is not reprogramming, that you are programming yourself to accept something is not there, but there is in the sights impermanence. To be easy to understand, let's say that in the morning you saw some sights, but right now you don't have those sights in front of you, which means it was impermanent. Okay? That's the impermanence perception. So that doesn't distract us. It's liberating when we develop a perception of impermanence. I got it to explain about the perception, the power of perception. The same things happens inside this perception. What is it? What is the topic we are going to study today? Perception of giving now. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, giving up. Pahana sanya. Pahana means giving up. You can say letting go. Pahana sanya or eradicating. Yes. Pahana. Sanya means perception, which means this could be a meditation on perceiving just the way that the color is perceived, the same way you are perceiving something. Perceiving what? Perceiving giving up. Abandonment. Let's see. Now, here Buddha explains this. It is when a mendicant doesn't tolerate a sensual, malicious, or cruel thought that has arisen, and they don't tolerate any bad, unskillful qualities that have arisen. but give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them. This is called the perception of giving up. Okay? There are special words. A mendicant doesn't tolerate a sensual thought, malicious thought, or cruel thought. For the meditator, the sensual thought is seen as an obstacle for that peace of mind. Let's say that you are meditating. If the thought were to occupied by a kind of a sensual thought, it distracts the mind. It distracts the mind and it wanders the mind. Here, sensual thought means, what is sensual thought? In Buddhist language, kama vitakkam. What is sensual thought? It is the thought about the things that we see, things that we hear, things that we smell, things that we taste, things that we touch. There are such thoughts in our mind, keep our mind wandering. That's the most powerful one. When you are going to meditate, when you are inside the meditation, you might experience there are such thoughts. Have you ever experienced such thoughts about like mental movies? Taking it to the past or to the future or reminding about something that you saw. Even though this is called sensual thought, it's not just limited to a specific thing, but this can be whatever the wandering thoughts in the mind, separated from malicious and cruel thought. We study what is malicious and cruel thought, then you will understand what is sensual thought means, which means it's separated from these two, but is whatever related to our sense objects. Okay? Always I take the example of the food. Example of the food makes really sense because the food has sight, food has sound, food has smell, food has taste, and food has touch. What is the sound of the food? When frying the food, we hear the sound and we enjoy the sound and our mind goes to make a mental, like sensual thoughts inside. Let's say someone asks you to meditate in front of a restaurant where the cook, so our mind can easily go to those sounds. And also when we see, when we smell, for sure, when we taste, when we touch, our lips touch or our feet, like our fingers touch the food, it brings a kind of a craving to the food, okay? So this can be seen as sensual thought. Now let's say a person is meditating in a retreat day and remember about what is going to be for the lunch. That's also sensual thought, which means because of the craving for the food, we create something related to that food in our head as a sensual thought. This is also valid for the people. This is also valid for our car, our house, our whatever we enjoy by seeing through our senses. These are the things that keeps our mind wandering. Okay? But in a meditation, if you were to abandon, let's say that you abandon these thoughts, this type of thoughts, sensual thoughts, doesn't mean that you will go without any thought like this. I mean, next minute you will get back to these thoughts. Only in a deeper state that you can abandon these thoughts. Only in one place. Where? In the first jhana. If your mind is go to the first jhana, there is no sensual thought. Only that moment. I said that because sometimes people scare. Oh, does that mean that I'll never be able to eat food after abandoning these thoughts? Because does that mean I won't find any excitement in the food in the later? No. That won't happen. Like we have this root cause inside which creates those thoughts. It's no way that we can completely eradicate eradicate forever without being enlightened or going to the higher stages. Anagami. Anagami is the fruit of some like Dhamma practices. He said that after they die, they're born in the Brahma world. In the Brahma world, they don't have sensual pleasures. No way that they can entertain their senses. Only the happiness of the mind. Like it said that every day they live with one-pointed mind. And every other happinesses that is following one-pointedness. That's their happiness. But our happiness is entertaining our senses. That's why time to time we become dissatisfied. We feel like not satisfactory in life. So we think, oh, it's good to do a mental training or meditation. Okay, so sensual thought need to be abandoned. If we need to concentrate the mind, it's a big challenge. It's a big practice, but it's worth of doing that because we can touch a higher happiness in the Brahma world or any other highly heavenly worlds in this human body, in this human life, if we abandon the sensual thoughts just for a few days, not forever, because these things come back over and over again. Okay? And then the malicious thought and a cruel thought. These are, Buddha says, doesn't tolerate. This person does not tolerate. When the thought about the food entered to the mind, what the practitioner does, if this person desires to have a peace of mind, a deep happiness, deep peace, doesn't tolerate. And there are many other like following words. Let's see. Does not tolerate. But give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them. Give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them. Okay? Those are the practices they do. For an example, a sensual thought entered to the mind. Give them up, does not tolerate the first one. Give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, obliterate them. This means it is possible to completely obliterate, completely eradicate. That's the place where the first jhana, or in our ordinary life without doing a meditation, we can still experience that calmness if we give them up those sensual thoughts. Let's go to the second one. I always take the malicious or angry thought to explain this because it makes very sensitive, like more sense to us. Malicious thought. What they do? The same thing. We apply the same thing. Doesn't tolerate when a malicious thought, angry thought into the mind. What they do instead? Give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them and obliterate them. Which means it is possible to give them up, get rid of them, eliminate and obliterate when anger arises in the mind. Okay? Let's say during the meditation, we were expecting a delicious food, but we go to the food, but we don't get that delicious food. What happens next? We get a malicious thought. Oh, why I couldn't get delicious food? Then what we do? Give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them. And for all of these, like cruel thought, let's say the cruel thought means a thought about harming another being. They should also do the same thing, give them up, get rid of them, eliminate and obliterate them, which means it is possible to completely remove those unwanted thoughts. These are seen as unskillful or unwanted thoughts in a meditator perspective. If you go and tell to another person, oh no, these sensual thoughts are bad, probably that person won't accept that. but only for the one who meditate. It is a sensual, like it's an unskillful thought, a bad thought, a distracted thought. Now, do you know the sensual thought is distracted? Do you know that? How do you know that? When you sit down, you see these things like popping up in the mind and distracting your peace of mind. Other times we might not know that it is this kind of unskillful thought. So as the malicious thought. Sometimes when people meditate, they hear noises and they get angry and keep thinking about the anger over and over again. Sometimes we have a back pain and we get angry and we think about that over and over again. And what do? Doesn't tolerate that thought. Give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them. Don't worry, I will share more about this later. Sensual thought, malicious thought, cruel thought. Okay. First, we need to recognize these inside of us. Now, do you see these thoughts separately in you? In your experience, can you find out about those? There are some group of thoughts, sensual thoughts. There are some group of thoughts, those are angry, malicious thoughts, and there are some thoughts, cruel thoughts, and these need to be abandoned. They don't tolerate. Where do they start when they see these three types of thoughts? Where do they start? What is the first, any initial practice here?
Doesn't tolerate.
Yeah, doesn't tolerate. What does it mean by doesn't tolerate? Anger enter your mind, what do? Let's say you are applying this teaching to you, what do?
Mindful.
Do not accept.
No, it doesn't say being mindful.
But doesn't tolerate.
Yeah, what is doesn't tolerate means?
Does not accept.
How to
Accept, okay, one person said in the Zoom, accept. Huh? Does not accept in another. The same answer differently. What else? Huh? Dislike. Doesn't tolerate, dislike. Dislike in the thought. What are the other?
Just recognize the thought, Bante.
What? What did you say in the Zoom?
Say I like it, like tolerate it. Very tells you that you think about it more. No.
Yeah, that's a common saying among the people, like when you try to suppress that, it becomes more. Let's say I have craving for something, I try to suppress that. Then I make it more worse. No, I don't need to eat cheesecake. I don't need cheesecake. I try to suppress that, but more and more increases the cheesecake desire. So then it's a one thing that we need to abandon, seeing that suppressing is not tolerating according to this teaching. What?
To accept that it's impermanent.
Yeah, you can develop. Exactly. You can develop in that practice we already discussed in the impermanence perception. You can bring that impermanence meditation to see the thought that it is changing, arising, vanishing, and changing. Yes, that definitely works, but there is no only one tool in the toolbox. There are many. Okay, I'm going to share another sutta too. This is where I found, this should be the Pahana Sanya that Buddha was spoken about. Arati Sutta. At one time, Venerable Wangisa, it was a name of a monk, was staying near Alavi at Alavi's premier shrine. together with his mentor, Venerable Negro the Kappa, which means he was living with another elder monk and he was junior to his monk life. Now at that time, after Venerable Negro the Kappa had finished his meal, which means teacher finished the meal, on his return from alms round, he would enter his dwelling and not emerge for the rest of that day or the next. He go to the alms round in the village and return after having the food, and he go into his meditation room and he spend the entire day meditating. He only take one meal but does not come back out from the room up until the next morning, which means he keep on continuously meditating up until that he go to the bed, and then in the morning he wake up and he go to the outside for the next day alms round. But there is a junior monk, like junior is not small, but that monk was new to the monk life, young monk but new to the monk life. He doesn't see the teacher. There's no inspiration in him. So hard for him to manage these thoughts. He wanted to be enlightened, so he entered to the organization, to the monastery, but he can't manage his thoughts. His mind is going to the sensual thoughts, because normally monks doesn't eat after 12 up until the next morning. Probably these thoughts come to the mind. Well, in this training, food is not a very important, like not saying very powerful or important thing. That's why there are rules and ways to reduce the desires. Because if we get attachment to the food, to be for sure that we attach to the rest of the other things, to the dwelling places, to the people, to the money, and to the vehicles, to everything. Because that's the five sense objects are present in all of those things. That's why there is this rule to not to eat after 12, to control the desire, to manage those thoughts. Okay? Because it's a very good object, like in the teachings, food is seen as a meditation object. We can meditate on food. Yes. And at that time, Venerable Vangisa became dissatisfied as lust infected his mind. Here, the lust means the same thing that we studied, sensual thought. His mind bringing up those thoughts related to the sense objects, and it invading the mind. This just the same thing happening during our meditations. Our mind infected by lust sometimes when we meditate. That's what happened during the meditations. That's why mind is not one point. He felt a kind of a dissatisfaction about his monk life. Then he thought, okay, this is where he developed this pahana sanya. This is how he did not tolerate. How? He thought this. Alaba vatame, na vatame laba. It is my loss, my misfortune. Okay? Dulladdam vatame, na vatame suladdam. It's my loss, my misfortune. Alaba vatame means it's my loss. Na vatame laba. It's not a gain for me. Dulladdam vatame. It's a misfortune for me. Na vatame suladdam. It's not a great fortune to me. Because of what? Because of what? Yeah, because he got the sensual thought. A thought in his mind. A lustful thought. A kind of a dissatisfaction. That's what normally we feel when we get too much craving. We feel dissatisfied about the spiritual life. Because the spiritual life is not a place to stimulate senses, but a place to meditate, to bring it to one point. Then they feel dissatisfaction. So he thought, oh, it's my loss, my misfortune. I got this thought. So does that person tolerate when that person thinks like that? Let's say I get such a thought a thought about the food. So I think, oh, this is my loss. This is my misfortune. Why? Because there's a greater goal in the head. I need to be enlightened. So this person see, oh, sensual thought is a loss. Sensual thought is a misfortune. That means this person is not giving any chance. This monk is not giving any chance to conquer his own mind by this sensual thought. He thought, oh, this is misfortune. But what happens when such a thought enters the mind? Do we think like in the meditation, let's say such a thought enters the mind? We think, okay, I will think about this food and what there will be for the food, and later I will continue my meditation. This is the perception we have. This is how we perceive immediately when some kind of a thought enters the mind. Let's set aside the sensual thought. Let's think about the angry thought. Malicious thought is a very good place we can understand this. When an angry thought enters the mind, how do we manage that? How do we perceive that? Do we think this is my loss? This is my misfortune? No. We try to tolerate. We are not practicing does not tolerate. We practice tolerate. Like we try to keep it. Okay, just this angry thought. I will keep this and I will find solution for this anger. And we keep on fueling it up, like unconsciously. We don't think it's my loss, this is my misfortune, this is not a great gain for me. But instead we think, oh, this is good. It's okay. Justice for the monk. Oh, we are going to control the thought when it enters. But this says, no, you does not tolerate, you abandon that. The abandonment of the thought starts with the perception of giving up, pahana sanya, thinking it is my loss, my misfortune. That's why this monk thought, when monk had this thought, oh, this is my misfortune, this is my loss. This is the first step. During the meditation, something comes to the mind. It's not in a way like worrying. Sometimes people worry by thinking, oh, why I'm this kind of a person who can't meditate? I'm trying and trying, I can't meditate. It's not a way that we're beating ourselves up and torturing us and thinking bad about us. This is kind of a understanding. Oh, this is not good. This is not an excellent thing. This is a misfortune. I will take, yeah.
Telling myself, oh, now I have to think about it right
That's also good. Yeah, not now is also good. Yeah, but I think even though we say not now, probably mind can deceive us and the thought would be more powerful and we ourselves like imagine, no, even though I say not now, I will think this for a few more minutes. So he thought, it's my loss, my misfortune, that I have become dissatisfied with lasting infecting my mind. So he desires his mind's purity, mind's peace. He was having such a goal. He was desiring that my mind should be very pure, clean, and peaceful. He thought, oh, that I have become dissatisfied with lust infecting my mind. This is very beautiful part. How is it possible for someone else to dispel my discontent and give rise to satisfaction? How would take this thought out from me? How someone else do this for me? Why don't I do it by myself? I will do it for myself because no one else outside can pull this out from us. We ourselves need to do that, but not by tolerating these thoughts, but by starting by not tolerating, abandoning, obliterating, because always we tried our best to make ourselves happy with those thoughts. But finally, we had a mind with so many distractions. Every moment, we grow anger in us, and who was the person suffered? It was ourselves. Our mind was, at the end, our mind was not happy. We were like growing that over and over and over again. Probably the one that attacked us are very happy. But we are harming ourselves thinking over and over again. Why? Because we didn't see the anger as, it's my loss, my misfortune. Okay? If there is some problem in life, you can talk with the person who is abusing. But first of all, we need to make our mind peaceful. That's how our judgments won't be like clouded. Because there were times that I got angry and I tried to fix the problems, but I didn't know that it was anger and my judgments was clouded and I tried to control the person, but no, the misery was mine. I entered to so many sorrowful state. Oh, yeah, that wasn't what I meant to say to that person. You see, we have a lot of experiences if we look at in our lives. Like there are a lot of things to learn. Our laboratory, like our life. We can, do so many experiments like seeing ourselves and learning. Okay? These teachings are inviting us to explore ourselves. Why don't I do it by myself? Then, on that occasion of dispelling his own discontent and giving rise to satisfaction, he recited these verses. So he was so happy that he got rid of that thought. Don't expect that this will be immediate, but it gradually loses its power. Sensual thought, very hard to remove. It has long, like big power. Take long to go away. But we keep on training, we keep on practicing, then at some point it will go away. Now I just wanted to share this sutta because I wanted to show you what is not tolerating means. It means that you think it's my loss, my fortune to carry this thought. That's where you develop the power, mental power to let that go. Okay? There is a simile in the teachings that Buddha says this practice can be done as this. Suppose there is a boy or a girl who wish to be very beautiful. What does those girls and boys do when they wish to be beautiful? Always go and look at the mirror. And putting makeup and decorating the face and then removing any dirt or any other like blemishes in the face, and again putting powder, like all the makeup and cosmetics. So then they will look so beautiful, and then dress beautiful clothes, and then wear beautiful like garlands. Do we wear garlands? Nowadays, no, just like the golden chains and rings and then beautiful things. Why? Because this person's desire is to be very beautiful, very attractive. Then Buddha says there is another man who wished to harm this person and take a dead body. Let's say a dead dog, he says a dead body of a dead dog or body of a dead snake or a dead body put into this person. There you go. They throw at this beautiful person who wished to look like very beautiful, very attractive. Then what happens is that because this person's desire, this boy or girl's desire were to be very attractive, when a dead body fall into them, what do? Do they think, oh, it's just a dead body. It's just a dead snake. I will keep around my neck. Do they carry a dead snake around their neck? No. Why? Because they desire to be beautiful, attractive. So what they do instead is that they become so horrified or very disgusted. they think, oh, this is not good. This is my misfortune. It's my loss. I don't need this dead body in my body. Like it's dead. It's bad smelling and it has bad appearance. It has like it's very disgusting. So this person thinks and remove that dead snake by their body. The same way the meditator, when these thoughts enter to the mind, because do you like to make the mind beautiful? Yes, every one of us desire to have a beautiful and attractive mind, beautiful mind. Then what we do when the dead body of a snake like anger come to the mind, we become so horrified, so disgusted. Why do I get angry? Do I need to get angry for my parents? Why do I want to get angry for my teachers? Why do I want to get angry for these respected people? Why do I want to get angry for unrespected people? We can think like that and we can think, oh, this is disgusting because it clouds my judgments. It clouds my mind. It brings impurity to my mind. Okay? That was the simile, Buddha says, to see those thoughts like that. Don't worry, it won't immediately uproot the reason why there are such thoughts. We'll definitely get angry the next time, but we can manage that even later when it develops into a perception. Because perception means you don't need to do new things later if you developed well. You see through that scope. In the future, you see through that identification that thought is such a thought. This anger is hurting me. Okay?
Kind of like it's ingrained,
What?
ingrained in us that it's already there.
Sometimes you can make this hobby. If you are in a free time, you can just close your eyes or look somewhere like far and try to observe your mind. If you have any thoughts left like anger thought. Because we don't need special things to get angry. Even by reminding something, we can make angry. Like sometimes we get angry for the past things. Look at your mind. There can be either angry thought or sensual thought, or sometimes cruel thoughts. Then scan through your mind and try to know this is not good because I'm expecting to have a beautiful mind. I will try to let this go. First thing, does not tolerate. Then they give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them. How do you do these things? Like the later ones, I said first step is not to tolerate, does not tolerate. It's when a mendicant doesn't tolerate a sensual thought. But how do they go to these practices, give them up, get rid of them, eliminate them, and obliterate them? How did we learn in the teachings to abandon a malicious thought, angry thought?
That vitaka santana.
Yeah, we can use Vitaka-Santana-Sutta or else. What is the most easiest one? Say it out
Think
loud.
of impermanence.
Yeah, you can bring up a positive thoughts to your mind. This is what I do normally when anger thought come to my mind. If I were to be mindful in that moment, what I do is I start loving kindness meditation. May I be free from anger. I'm giving suggestions to me. May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. Again, the malicious thought breaks all the meditations and come back. No. Even you think like this? No, please be angry. Be ill will. Please be jealousy. That's what the mind tells. No, just be mentally suffer. Please, mentally, physically suffer. Again, that mind come to this, like, its thoughts come to the mind. Then again, we think, no, may my anger be released. May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill. May I be free from jealousy. Then that's how we develop this perception. Then we get rid of them, eliminate them, obliterate them. The more powerful the loving kindness, very less the anger come to the mind. Buddha says in a teaching, if a person were to say that I do loving kindness, but I still get angry, Buddha says that monk should be stopped saying that. He says, don't tell like that. Don't say like that. It's not good to criticize the Buddha. It's not good to say something like that. Let me see if I can find the sutta, Nissaraniya Sutta.
Nisarana?
It's not easy to find that sutta, I'm sorry. Let's say the next one. Oh, yeah, I found it.
Is it this
Buddha says like this. Take a mendicant who says, a practitioner who says, I've developed the hearts released by love. Hearts released by love means another word to loving kindness. I have cultivated it, made it my vehicle. Made it my vehicle means you can easily get on to the loving kindness and you can go anywhere you want. If you have anger about past, you can drive to the past through this vehicle. If you have anger about future, you can drive to the vehicle to the future. And my basis, I kept it as my basis, kept it up, consolidated it, and properly implemented it. This person says, I did that. I'm very good at loving kindness. I know loving kindness all the way. I can do anytime I want the loving kindness. But he says, yet somehow, ill will still occupies my mind. But still I get angry, this person says. Or maybe that person is speaking angrily or doing angry things. They should be told, not so venerable, don't say that, don't misrepresent the Buddha. For misrepresenting the Buddha is not good. And the Buddha would not say that, which means this person is not cultivated properly. That's why this person's mind is still go to the anger. So there's a problem with our training. If we get angry, if someone get angry, because people get angry for the slightest things. In retreat days, we can see people being so many complaints. Like, that person did this to me, did that to me. Yeah. Make noises behind me. No anger come to the mind if they have loving kindness. Then what is it? How do they react? Are they dead? What happened to this human emotion? Buddha says the enlightened monk doesn't have anger at all. No anger whatsoever. Then a monk asked, then how do they feel? Then the Buddha gave a simile. Let's say someone's hand were to cut, no hand from the knee. Let's say no hand, no arm. Then this person go to take something using his arm. But it's said that he doesn't have a thought that always I don't have a arm, I don't have an arm, I don't have an arm. He doesn't have that always going in his mind. But as soon as he is going to take some object on the floor, on the ground or on the table, he realizes, oh, I don't have my arm. I can't take this. Same way it said that when we don't have anger, there are opportunities that we can get angry. Then immediately we realize, oh, there's no anger. Isn't that joy? Isn't that happiness? Nothing in the mind to irritate. I mean, someone make noises. Oh, I don't have anger. No anger. Empty. You don't even know how to make the anger.
They don't know how anger looks like that.
Yes. Buddha says, I don't see anything in this life to get angry. I don't know. But instead, what they have is this perfect bliss of mind. Deep peace in mind. It's a far goal, but let's say in our day-to-day life, we get angry for whatever the reason, like so many reasons. Even a fly can't fly sometimes. Flies rotating around us, we get angry. Irritation. But why these flies are going all the way? So this person says Buddha says they should be told, not so venerable, don't say that, don't misrepresent the Buddha. For misrepresentation of the Buddha is not good, and the Buddha would not say that. And then he says, it is impossible, Reverend. It cannot happen that the heart released by love has been developed and properly implemented, yet somehow ill will still occupies the mind. For it is the heart's release by love that is the escape from ill will. The more that we cultivate loving kindness, the more that we have opportunities to let go ill will. Okay? All we need is to do the practice, cultivate properly, made it like a vehicle and basis. Okay, that's how this person give it up. Eliminate, get rid of them, obliterate them. Okay? What can we do for the sensual thoughts? Just like the angry thought. If a sensual thought come to the mind, how to let go then? Yeah, that's the first step. Doesn't tolerate. Or is it my misfortune that I got angry? I got lust or the craving for the food, and then what we think.
Oh, I have to get rid of it by myself.
Yes, you can think that also, but what is the practice for that? Yes, definitely. That's great. Yeah, we do the meditation on the unattractiveness of the body, because all the sensual thoughts are centered to the body. Okay, whatever we desire is centered to the body. If we understand the nature of the body, we don't make those thoughts in the mind. At least we don't be hurt or distracted by those thoughts, because we know this body has what? How do we know? How do we meditate on unattractiveness? Asubha meditation. We sit down and we think, oh, my hair, I have head hair, I have body hair, I have nails, I have teeth, I have skin, I have flesh, I have sinews, I have bones, bone marrow, kidneys, liver, heart,
Right.
diaphragm, intestines, spleen, lungs. So that's the meditation. Then we put a light on us that we know, oh, this is about the body. This thought is centered in the body. Oh, I know about the body. Body is not just the attractive as it is, but it also has an unattractive part. And that develops the confidence, that develops the power, and it easily removes these sensual thoughts. What happens when we take the food? There is a very decorated food plate. As soon as we touch the food, does anyone like to share that? If I touch,
Oh, no.
oh, this is someone else's food. I don't want. Then I mix it. 3 seconds, I mix the food. Does someone like to take it? No. And then I mix it and I keep it in the mouth, and then what happens? Yeah, it's saliva and all the things, and we mix. Does someone like to share?
No.
No. And then what happens when it enters even more? Like it become more and more disgusting. Okay? So the taste was gone. I don't know, these thoughts lose its power. That's the most amazing and wonderful and miraculous thing. The thought leaves us. This much tiredness we had because of this thought. But for whatever the reason, after doing the meditation, mind becomes so calm. That's the benefit. And that's also what we don't like to think. That's also that what we reject. We think, oh, thinking like that, are you crazy? If we tell to other people like this, ask, what? What's wrong with you? But this is what develops our peace of mind, power, confidence. Don't worry, this doesn't harm your direct experience. Let's say you eat the food, it won't bring you suffering. Is mindfulness suffering? No. It won't distract your direct experience. When you take the food, you feel even more happiness than the other days with the distracted mind. Because you are eating the food with mindfulness, you feel more peace, more enjoyment in the food. Okay? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And then later you see, oh, I don't have sensual thought. Oh, I don't have angry thought. Or I don't have cruel thought. That peace, that freedom is so enlightening. That is deep liberation. You feel very powerful. It said that there is a king, removes all the enemies in his kingdom, and take all the beautiful clothes and dress very beautifully, and then put all the jewels and put the scents, perfumes, and then put a flower garland and put the sword and take all the other people around like the guardians, and then put the crown on the head. And that person the king there is no enemy left in any part of the country. All the enemies were dispelled. And this person feels so deep happiness. King feels, oh, that's wonderful. That's amazing. I'm a king. No any enemies in my kingdom. And his crown shines, and he sits down on the throne, and he's very powerful. Said that this person who abandoned all the negative thoughts feels the same way. Higher than that happiness of a king. Because they won the heart, they won their mind, they won their life. That person feels, oh, this is amazing. It's wonderful. My mind is 1 point. Okay? Sound. By the power of the merit that we accumulated by studying this sutta, may we have the great opportunity to attain the perfect bliss of our mind.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.